how to become an XRP millionaire in 12 to 24 months. Let's get into it. Know what you're thinking. Before you go flame me in the comments, this is going to be more of a realistic, just like numbers and math prediction that, is going to be maybe a little bit more expensive than you might think, but I thought it would be, still a fun video. So let's get into it. So here's the article. Analyst reveals how much XRP you need to hold to be a millionaire in the next 12 to 24 months. So again, this is going to be some numbers and math and, something that's realistic, but it is going to be expensive. So if that's something that interests you, stay tuned. If not, click away. I don't care. So right now, anyone holding 2,500 XRP ranks in the top 10% of wallets globally. However, to reach the top 1%, a person or company needs 51,300 XRP. That's a lot of XRP. And especially now, XRP, Bitcoin, crypto as a whole is just on fire. I made a short video yesterday talking about it, but so this is going to be even more expensive than when this article came out. But it kind of still holds true. So even you have this, like the 0.01% is a lot, is, over 5 million XRP. The 0.1% is 380,000 XRP, 0.2%, so on and so forth. Many investors likely underestimate how little it takes to break into these elite levels. He believes XRP is now on the edge of a breakout, which it did happen. We're breaking out. Doesn't need to perform miracles, but just match what Bitcoin has already done over the past decade. So this is kind of XRP, and this is what it, kind of needs to do, because this is what this is the Bitcoin chart, what it's done. With that in mind, he said it's realistic to consider price targets of $10, $20, or even $50 within the next year, pointing to several catalysts like regulatory clarity, the rise of stablecoins, ISO, upgrades, and growing institutional interests, which is very much all on the table for XRP. So how much XRP you need to hold to become a millionaire? So he laid out 3 possible scenarios. In the first, XRP reaches $10 to $12 within 2 years. In that case, an investor would need around 100,000 XRP to cross the $1 million mark. However, in a more optimistic projection, where speculation drives the price to $54, only 18,000 XRP would be enough. See, a lot less than 100,000. Nonetheless, Johnny said that the most realistic price sits somewhere in the middle, around $25, which I think that's a good, in 2 years, a good price target. At that level, holding 40,000 XRP would get an investor close to the $1 million goal. Essentially, an investor would need to hold between 18,000 and 100,000 XRP to become an XRP millionaire over the next 24 months. This will depend on how much momentum the market gains after regulation kicks in. So for context, 18,000 XRP, at the recording of this video, XRP is around $2.75 now. So that would cost, 18,000 XRP would cost around $50,000. So it's even, higher than when this article came out. Higher than the 41,760, and 100,000 tokens would be worth, 275,000. So, it's already moving, right? Which kind of goes down to this. So XRP rich list becoming more difficult to enter. Highlight perspectives from recent price trends, notably in November last year, 2,500 XRP cost $500. Today, that same amount costs more than 5,000, and even more today, right? Because XRP is up. Again, this is a little bit of an older article, but I thought it was still good, something to share. Fun video to make. This change shows how quickly price can move in a market that supports crypto, which is very much what we're in and even moving into more and more each day, it feels like. He warned that as time goes on, it will get harder for average investors to build large positions, especially with major companies preparing to enter the market and add assets like XRP to their balance sheets. He also estimated that someone who wants to hold a top 1% XRP wallet today would need to invest about $100,000. If XRP reaches $50, as Johnny suggested it might, that same holding would be worth $5 million. He said personally believes holding 25,000 XRP could be enough to reach millionaire status, not because of hype, but because of where the digital asset space is headed. Speaking further, he compared XRP's market cap to Bitcoin's and pointed out that XRP offers a stronger potential return While Bitcoin needs 2 trillion in market cap to double, XRP only needs 130 billion, which again, at the recording of this video would probably be 150 billion. But very, a lot less than a 2 trillion to double, right? To wrap up, Johnny encouraged viewers to act now rather than wait. He said the window to buy XRP at current prices won't stay open for long. Now, XRP's up, Bitcoin's up, so crypto is moving, and it's kind of already pricing stuff a little bit higher. It's kind of pricing people out of it potentially, right? Like these numbers have already changed to 50,000, 275,000 at the recording of this video, and can change when this video comes out, right? So it does just show how much you might need to hold to be a millionaire in the next 12 to 24 months, depending on where XRP, goes. If it goes to $10, $20, or even $50, or like he said, split the difference and go to $25, right? Holding around 40,000 XRP would get an investor close to the $1 million goal. Got to see where it's at, how many tokens you own, if you kept buying, how much it would cost to get there. But I mean, it's doable depending on how much capital you have. I'm not saying this isn't investing advice. I'm not saying put your money into XRP or crypto. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is what it would take to be an XRP millionaire, right? And it could happen in 12 to 24 months. Always look at how much XRP you own, your cost basis, what you got in at, where you want to get it out, and always, take profits. Don't be afraid to take profits. Yep, so that is it for this video. Let me know your thoughts. So to become an XRP millionaire in 12 to 24 months, it's right there. I mean, the number's right there. Yeah, it might be a little bit more expensive than you thought, or it might be very doable. And you might already have quite a bit of XRP depending where you buy. If you bought, when it was 50 cents, you're going to be sitting on a good bag right now. If you're buying at levels right now, which I do say, personally, I think is still cheap, still early. It's going to take a little bit more capital, right? But as always, have a plan, stick to your plan, do what's good for you. Don't listen to me. But yeah, thanks for finding my little channel here and giving me your time, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.